Let's be this is Jen Freeman. This is a little while later after I've gone shopping and went and ate at this. They have a restaurant next to the Vietnamese store, which I don't go to as often as I did when I first got here. I will say it's not as good as the one that I remember in Texas, but it's good. I always feel good after I eat there. And that's kind of what this is about. And I don't understand this because people's nature is to try to avoid pain and seek pleasure. But a lot of times the pleasures that we seek are not healthy for us, and in the end they don't make us feel good. Because most of the food that I know for myself, a lot of the food that I have eaten in my life, seeking a fix, let's say, seeking some quick gratification would be another way of saying it. It is not good for me, and in the end I feel like crap. And I don't understand why humans are like that, because you would think that because we consciously seek pleasure, that we would seek out the things that would give us the most pleasure, because the most pleasure would be something that's healthy and that it makes you feel good, and not just feel good while it's in your mouth or 5 minutes after you've eaten it, but good for an hour or a few hours until you get hungry again. So I've been contemplating that for a long time, why that is. But I don't know if there is a good answer for it other than it just is. And it's like a lot of stuff that you gotta just take it as that is. It is what it is, and just deal with it. But I'm trying to try to consciously choose to do things that are better. And I don't always do that, though. A lot of times the urge just overtakes me. I want something. I want some gratification, and so therefore I go and grab something that I think it's going to give me gratification, and most of the time it doesn't. It's disappointing. And I think a lot of it does have to do with programming, advertising. Because I will admit that the other day, that other video that I talk about going to the fast food restaurant, I did that because of advertising. If there hadn't been a bunch of advertisements, I probably would not have done that. I would have just I would have chosen someplace else. I don't know that it would have been any better, but maybe it would. I don't know. I am struggling with that. I am struggling with the idea that the ideas that I've been programmed with, that certain things are good. I know in my heart they're not good for me, but just good in general, good tasting. Don't know. Well, I know growing up, I was probably like everybody else, and I thought McDonald's was wonderful, and I wanted my parents to take me there. And so, by the time I got grown enough where I could go there myself, or I could drive myself there, and I actually had money to spend to buy something, it had already been ingrained in me that this is a wonderful place. And I think, too, 40 years ago, it was a much different place, too. But we hold on to that idea from that it is still 40 years ago, when things have changed totally. There's nothing that's the same. The burger's not the same. The fries are not the same. Just none of it's the same. It may be on the outside. They may put the same ingredients by name on something like a Big Mac or whatever, but it's not the same thing. And it never will be that old thing again. No, it never will be. So, I did get me some coffee. I shouldn't drink these things either, but I do. I do feel better when I drink tea in the morning instead of coffee. But that's another one of those things that drives me, and I have this love-hate with coffee. And I'll go a while drinking coffee, and then after a while it sours. It really does. And I don't feel good when I drink it. So I end up, taking a break for a while. And sometimes years at a time, because I've gone a couple of years without caffeine before, and I felt better. And then there's that day that you think, oh, it's been so long, it might just be okay, and I'll just have this one cup of coffee. And the next thing you know, you're drinking the pot a day like I was for a while. And that's not good. It's not good. It's going overboard. So I guess it comes back to mindfulness. And I don't think I have been. When you're in the midst of that, you want something. When you're in the midst of that will be a wonderful thing, it's hard to be mindful. It really is. So, I hope you get something out of this. And I'm going to head on to the house and put this on the internet, and you'll be able to see it in a while. But this is Jen Fremont. Blessed be y'all.